What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, we're taking another look at They Are Billions. My name is Splat. Happy to have you here. So hang out for a little while and check out a game that was actually kind of a smash hit here on the channel. Kind of a smash hit. You guys really seem to like it out of left field. I didn't expect people to really be super into this game because we don't do RTS as much on the channel. But the last playthrough was my first impressions of the game. I had basically only played one or two runs right before that. I'd played for about an hour just to get familiar with the controls and whatnot and how the game functioned before I did the first impressions. This time around, I've got about 15 hours under my belt. I've played quite a bit. I've almost beaten it. I haven't quite beaten it yet, but I've almost beaten it. And so I think we should be in a good spot for an extended playthrough. And so join me. Join me as our little steampunk colony attempts to survive. I'm going to call this one Ollie. There it is. And so let's see what we get for a map here, because actually one of the big weaknesses of the game that I've identified, I haven't really critiqued this game at all because I think it's pretty close to perfect. But that being said, one of the big weaknesses I've found in this game is the map. You can get a bad map. You can actually get unwinnable maps in this game pretty easily if you're not careful. And there's a lot of maps out there that are just like, they're not good. They're not good at all. And so sometimes you'll start looking around and you just be like, ugh, this map is the worst thing ever. And there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. You kind of just got to work around it. Let's start scouting for the moment. We got some iron over there. Got some zombies on that side. We got some iron over there as well. So at least we know where the iron supply is at in the case of upgrades. Is this open right here? Please tell me this isn't like an open channel into my base. Please tell me that's not an open channel. It totally is. Totally is. So one of the things that I would look for as a trigger at the beginning of the game for whether or not you should reroll your map is if you have more than 5 entrances to your base. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entrances to our base. However, that can be controlled a little bit by setting up previous choke points and then moving outwards. So I think let's just keep looking around. Let's get some houses built first. Houses are going to be important. And so I want to build some houses here. We want to decide where these houses are going to go. My suggestion would be maybe something like that right there. And maybe something like that right there. Although, frankly, we're already pretty cramped. We don't have a lot of space. You kill off those Zeds over there, please. On this side, it doesn't look like we have a lot of zombie friends. In fact, it's mostly open space over here. Okay. Alright. Do a lot of scouting at the beginning of the game. It's very, very wise for you to do preliminary scouting at the open of the game. Make sure that you've got a real feel for what's around and what can be used and what resources are available for exploitation. On this side, we've got gold reserves up by 600 and wood reserves up by 10. We can also get the market researched instantaneously at the beginning of the game. I'm going to go with the wood reserves. The market research is going to take like 30 seconds anyways. It's not really that difficult. And market research only costs gold. And you tend to have a lot of gold. Gold is not going to be hard to come by in this game. Other resources, a little bit more difficult to come by. But gold, not so difficult. We want to get some food up and running here about as soon as possible. Unfortunately, all we face up to is a couple of forests on either side. That is a quarry, sorry. Got the wrong thing right there. I can get 11 wood from right there, which I'm alright with. I can get 11 wood from right there, which I'm alright with. And then we need to start looking at hunters' lodges. So for 14, we can get 14 food from right there, really. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. I won't turn it down. I won't turn it down. It's going to get me a little bit excited, but I promise I ain't going to turn it down. We can get a little bit more food from right there as well. However, that does sort of get in the way of my plan of walling all this off. Alright, put it in. Get them in wherever you can get them in. It's kind of the way life goes in this. You got to make do. This game is always going to have problems. That's the thing you got to realize. Is that there's always going to be an issue. There's always going to be a choke point that you can't afford to defend. There's always going to be some small problem in this game that you've got to work around. And unfortunately, if you're going to stall off and just not play the map every time it occurs, then you're probably not going to get a whole lot accomplished. You probably don't dick around with that so much. You go over to there. We've already got that covered. You go over to that side. You fall back to here. And I think that should be every entry point back into our base taken care of. If she can kill off those Zeds right there, we can try to steal some of these resources on this side, which I think is pretty good. We got some wood right there, and we've got some stone. It's not a lot, but it's something. And we do have a lot of open space, though, that we got to protect for right now. And we don't have a lot of space to build, and so we're going to want to be careful about the way that we proceed from here. So with these houses, I just cram them in. I would just cram them in for right now. There are not a lot of choices that we have to make right now as far as space constraints go. And so instead, we got zombies coming in that way. That's okay. You guys spread out and cover that just to make sure that nothing goes wrong over there. I'll feel better if you do. I will feel a little bit safer. The area of principal concern is actually this location over here. I think building a wall to there and a wall to there is probably the way that I want to handle it. And then we've got this little gap right here, which the zombies are 100% going to try and get through. I really hate this gap right here. I hate it a lot. Like, I hate it a considerable amount, because it means that I've just got to make like a wall right here and hope that the zombies don't decide to ever hit that en masse. They may or may not. It sort of depends. Some games it seems like the zombies focus on like the smallest inefficiency in your defenses, and then other days it seems just like they're completely and totally oblivious and they don't care at all. We do want to expand out our power network for right now. And unfortunately, we're going to have to build mills pretty soon, which I hate to. I really don't want to build mills. We got zombies coming in over here, so go ahead and handle them. I would suggest that maybe we reshuffle somebody from a different side to make sure that this stays protected over here. Yeah, you go right there, and hopefully that's good enough. But we got 2 points of defense over here. They can come through that little gap right there, and I think that might be a more considerable, credible threat than other areas. I just think personally that might be a problem. So that building's going to go up right there. Tesla Tower's all good to go. We've got our area of influence expanded ever so slightly. Other things to think about while we're down here. I can squeeze in fishing camps right here. I can squeeze in a fishing camp over here. However, the problem with that fishing camp is that it's going to be in the way. I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to double wall this down to like here, and then double wall it back this way possibly. I think is the best way that I can do it. We've got, this is an ugly map. This really sincerely is. I'd probably re-roll this one if it was just me personally playing. Let me get 4 stone over here. It's going to use up some power and it's going to use up some workers, but can't really be helped at this point. Can't really be helped. And as far as everything else is concerned, let's just kind of keep an eye on it. The trees don't go away. So the things that you want to keep in mind is as the trees don't go away. God, I really dislike how close our living area is to Frontier. I don't like it at all. I don't like it for a second. Not for one tiny bit do I like that. Probably should have left a gap in the middle to expand that out a little bit further.
Attention. Building completed.
I think that's about as close to the placement as I want. I'm going to try and be land grabby. And we'll keep Tesla Towers going up, because being a little bit grabby with land on a map like this is probably a good idea. The big thing we're going to want to get is this area over here. And so, I mean, we got iron over there, though, so that's going to be a priority, too, unless we don't want to go up to Tier 2. But I think if I could grab that, and I could grab all of this right there, that'd be fantastic. It'd be really good. I mean, I'd love to grab this across here to this lake as soon as possible, but we kind of got to wait it out and see how that plays as time goes along. I mean, we don't really know where the zombies are going to try and hit us from just yet. All we know is that we don't have enough building space for just about anything we want to do yet. As far as tents go, what can I do with tents right now? What can I do with tents right now? I could put them right here. There we go. A few more tents ready to go. And then unfortunately, we're going to be caught up in a situation where I have got to make a mill. And I do not like making mills because they take up space for other things. That is my principal argument against the development of mills, is we can get 17 food from right there. Well, hell, get on out there and get me some 16 food. I'll just scooch him forward ever so slightly. I don't care how far out we decide to expand. I'm just trying to get some more fishing spaces in. Oh, good, she can make the shot over to that corner. I was concerned maybe somebody was going to sneak through on this side at some point and get me into trouble. We do have some little avenues right here that we should be able to continue building inside of, but it's going to be cramped. It is going to be cramped, and we are just going to have to live with that revelation. You move forward, kill off some of these zombies because we got things to build and stuff to do. Oh, there's one right there too. Shuffle backwards, shuffle back. Take care of that one. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So what I'd like to see now is we really want to get our defenses up and done by like... Oh, I don't know. I usually prefer to see my defenses up and done by like day 10. That's just my preference. It's what I like to see. And so what I'm going to do is we'll start putting in wood walls over here. It is going to be expensive, but this is just one of those tasks that you want to focus on. Like, make sure that you're constantly building up some kind of wall, some kind of defense. Basically, focus on getting rid of open space and cultivating tight chokes. And if you can do that, you'll be alright. Move her over to here so that when that zombie gets there, it does look like indeed they are going to try and press their claim on this little area. Now, the nice part is we're going to be able to exploit that to our advantage. The game does not allow you to build triple thick walls. You can only build double thick walls, otherwise it stops you off. This right here is going to break up that flow, and in fact, if we fill this entire area with wood pylons, they're going to have to break through the entire thing in order to get down to here. And if we catch an invasion, it's going to come from this way, which actually I'm thinking is looking pretty likely. This may end up being a corridor that's going to be really nasty for us. The upshot there is only so many zombies can mass up on that side, and so it'll probably be okay. Leave her there for right now. We've got wood coming up. Things we want to look at. Our power supply is looking solid. I would like to see like one further out, and I think we'll be solid right there. You get back over here and protect the colony. Now that there's a hole right there, we've got ourselves a brand new choke point. We got ourselves a brand new choke point. And so what I may do is I'll just bring this down and hook it right here so it goes into this wall so that we're all covered along that end. Down here represents yet another issue because they can come through there, which let me check that real fast. Yeah, there's a horde down there. There's a horde down there. So if there's a horde down there, it's a problem. That is a problem. Man, I do not like this map. This map generation is brutal. It's just got all kinds of nooks and crannies that are going to get us into trouble. I was hoping we get a good map for this playthrough, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. All we got is a big old collection of bad maps. But you play with the hand you're dealt in this game. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like an RTS roguelike. In a lot of ways, that's just how it is. It's kind of an RTS roguelike because there's a lot of things that are just outside your control, and you can't really do a whole lot about it. There's going to be a lot of stuff you just can't really do anything about. So what I would prefer over here to do is just build out... Actually, I don't know if that was a wise decision. I don't know if that was a wise decision. I might have made a bad call down here.
You are going to pay me for this, right?
I might have made a bad decision. I don't know, but we needed a place for houses to go in. Cancel this one. We're going to take some resource losses. But I need more wall space. Like, I'm going to build the wall right here so it's a little bit longer. And so it's got a little bit more space to play around with. I don't feel comfortable having a wall section that thin. It makes me nervous. Makes me feel nervous. Building doesn't have access to energy in that area. Okay, that's perfectly fine. This, I'm going to have to go like that right there, unfortunately. I don't like it, but I'm going to have to do it. I don't like it, but I'm going to have to do it because it counts that as a triple thick right there on that corner. So I can't actually... I can't take this and turn it in this way because a wall right there is going to count as a triple thick because of 1, 2, 3. It's just the way that the game calculates connecting walls is going to cause a problem for us right there. So wall number 1 is good to go.
Oh, more orders.
That means I can sort of not care about the guard over here quite as much. Other places we want to look at. We really got to get this walled off too. That's going to be the only way to keep us safe. Let me take a look at our wall sections here. So I can double up right there. I can double up right there. I can double up right here and right here. It's not my favorite. It's not what I want to do really badly, but like it's one of those things that I think I'm going to have to make some exceptions here. I'm going to have to make some exceptions. I'm also kind of wondering about the merits of maybe expanding my influence out and making a box right here so I have a little bit of extra building space. Because as of right now, we are cramped. We are really cramped. Like, we are beyond the pale cramped at the moment. And I do not like that. I may try to grab this out here so that iron is nice and close. Maybe do like a little L joint right there, possibly. That might do something for us, but that little bit of stone right there is going to cause an issue for building economy as well. Just a lot of problems on this map. Just a lot of problems. We can't get a soldier center going, which would probably be a spot of wisdom. I don't think we would suffer for that decision. So I'm going to make a soldier center. Soldier center is going to allow us to train a few more soldiers to get out there and get some in the near future. And by day 10, like I said, we want to have our defenses up by day 10. Cold calculation on that is that we're pulling in 22 we're pulling over 60 wood in a day. So we're pulling in our entire cap of wood per day. And so it should be all right. Downshots to this is that we're looking right now at food shortages pretty soon. Looking at food shortages pretty soon. I can put in a food shack right there. Closest one I could put in is right there. Well, if we got a lot of points for defense, if I could steal this iron early on, I wouldn't be against it. 'Cause that's a real good iron field. Like that's a really, really good iron field right there. And so our big gambit for the beginning of the game on what we want to do is we could either place right here, and we can attempt to wall off both sides of this. But there was a horde down here, correct? Go check on that horde for me. And until we have the soldiers to really deal with the fact that there was a horde down here. Well, they're a little ways back. They're a little ways back. Ooh, I've got to decide how greedy I want to be. How greedy do I want to be? Ooh, and a lot of decisions in this game are going to be a big mixture of how greedy you want to be, because being greedy can sometimes really work, and it'll actually put you way ahead of the curve as far as the game is concerned. But other times being greedy can overextend you and get you into a lot of problems. And so it sort of becomes an issue. Are there walls right there? Let me check that, because every now and again I end up with little gaps. Just based on the perspective of the game, and they get me into trouble. Bring me a scout over here. Bring me a scout over here. I want to get a better look at the area before I decide what I want to do. Because if there's like massive hordes over here, building a wall right here may not be our wisest decision. Doesn't look like a horde. Might just be a loose collection of zombies. So we've got our building right there. We do have access to more workers now. We're capped out on wood, so we really don't want to waste that. Being capped out on wood in general means that you probably want to start building. That's easy enough to fix. Good enough for me for right now. But that does mean we're going to need 2 people to watch these gates down here just in case. Scouty McScout Pants, get over here. See if you can kill off a couple of them. We got a zombie chewing on the wall down here, and the game didn't tell us. The game's not always going to tell you when you're under attack. It should. I am of the opinion that every single time you get hit, it should be like, you are under attack, and it should flash the map. But it doesn't, so keep that in mind. That's going to be something you're just going to have to learn to live with. So check your mini-map pretty frequently. Sometimes it tells you, sometimes it doesn't. When they try to jump you. There's a little horde over here, but actually I don't think they're in the way. I'm gonna get greedy. I'm gonna get greedy. Splatty's gonna get greedy. Alright, so put in a Tesla tower right there. I want this iron. If we can steal this iron early, that means we can go from bows up to guns. And going up to guns early on in the game, if you take a look over here, we need iron. If we can start generating iron early on in the game, that means we can have riflemen instead of having archers running around all over the place. And having riflemen is going to be massive. Like, you don't want to get to day 60 and still only have like 10 riflemen and like 100 archers. You kind of want to get to day 50 or so, and you're going to want to have like 100, 75 in there, guys with guns who are just ba 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 ba, because the enemies do get tougher and there are special infected you're going to have to deal with. And so your guys being tough enough to handle that situation is what's going to really pull you through. As far as building space goes, now that I know how much building space I have, I can choose to dick around a little bit further over here. Actually, I'm going to save that for defenses because we can build ballistas and stuff later on. I'm going to save that for defenses for right now. And there's our game backup right on time. I just don't know what I'd want to do with houses. Houses are problematic right now. We just do not have the space for them. I'll drop one right there because, I don't know. I don't feel like living on a prayer right now, Bon Jovi style. This building is blocking the free access of another building. Oh yeah, you gotta build them in little anno cells or whatever. I forgot about that. You should try to squeeze in houses wherever you can. I mean, if you've got a little bit of extra space somewhere, throw some houses in. You're gonna need soldiers later on, so you might as well. We got an extra little house land right there. We still got thoroughfares, though. Be careful about blocking off access to various parts of your base. It can get you into problems. Where are we under attack? Oh, from that side? Okay, I can live with that. Yeah, go ahead and take care of that guy, please. If he breaks through, I'll be a little salty with you. Defenses are on attack over on this side, I think. Yeah, he's chewing on that pylon right there. Nope, shoot him first before he kills that pylon. We're almost capped out on wood, which is great. That's exactly where I want to be. I'm going to build a wall right here next. I'm going to build a wall right here next. It's day 6. We're getting up in playtime, which has me like a tiny bit worried. But then again, I'm a natural worrier. It's what I do. I tend to worry about every possible thing in my head. Actually, I don't know if that's going to go down all the ways right there. Always pause the game before you place buildings. Pausing the game before you place buildings is going to allow you to refund them for free, whereas if the game's running, you may not necessarily be able to do that. Does that go down all the way right there? It does. Okay. Alright, well, we got some of our walls up and running. I'm going to try and get something going over here. I'm going to need another Tesla coil down by the water on that side, though. But this is going to be our next episode of They Are Billions. Thank you for joining me. My name is Splattercat. This game is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this title, and I can't wait to play it more with all of you. I'll see y'all next time. If you want to get the game for yourself, the beta is open right now. I'll put the link down below so you can buy the game. If you wanted to support me, you could do that through Patreon. I'm on the never-ending search for indie games. And other than that, if you wanted to hang out live in person and actually squidge my face and say hi, you can do that at Twitch TV/SplatterCatGaming every single day at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Hi, everybody, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, mash that like button. It helps the channel out a lot. Yep. Bye.